standing on business. They want to show me when they do this, I take a step back. They want to show me people they want to show me Stewie dancing to Agora Hills. I want to show you what. Yeah. So I don't even know
Okay,
if it's real.
okay, you need to fix your FIP.
I
Because
just got back on TikTok. Like, it doesn't know what I like except
so
crochet.
these ceiling challenges are hilarious. The fails are hilarious. Um, if we can get the videos I put in the Google Drive up, I will show you a few of the fails. Um, but
Did you put them
these,
in slides?
uh, no.
Um,
So, uh, I just put them in the drive. So,
maybe hard for me to find.
huh? They should be the most recent. Yeah, they're the most recent. Two most recent videos.
He might be the one who does this technological stuff, so I don't really.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Um. So, but the selling challenge is when people, mainly
If it's
females.
saved,
Yeah.
hold on. I'm sorry. Did you save it on your computer?
No.
Oh.
It's
Because it gives you
in.
an option to share videos from your device, like share video from your saved storage.
Yeah. I don't have. I don't have space on my computer, so
Okay, we don't have to figure that out right now. I was just asking,
okay.
like, is that how you supposed to do it?
No. So people are taping their phones to the ceiling and recording themselves twerking, dancing around, having fun, being goofy. Some, after they tape their phones to the ceiling, fall off the chairs or fall off the whatever they're using to stand up and tape their phones to the ceiling.
B'Myte.
Yes. So this is
push the button.
Oh my
so that so that's one example of
Yeah, but I didn't know what it was. Like, I saw a person taping their phone to the ceiling, but it didn't show me like what they did.
so that's one example of the failed ceiling challenge. These people are risking life and limb and their phones to do this challenge because it's the internet. So TayDZ, have you seen anybody doing this?
Not gonna lie to you. Oh, not gonna lie to you, B'Myte. When you initially introduced this to us, the operative word here was definitely the term twerk. And I was thinking, oh boy, B'Myte's For You page is probably nasty. So
It's not nasty. It's hilarious because y'all saw what happened, right? Y'all saw the
yeah, we
the
saw
act-
what happened.
So that being the case, hold up, let me get myself back. With that being the case, if you saw this on your FYP, would you watch it all the way through to see to see what happens, or would you just scroll past?
Okay, first, I would want to see what happens because it's so quick. Like within the first few seconds, first the angle catches you off guard because it's a bird's eye view. So like instantly you're intrigued because most of the videos you see on TikTok are face to face. You know, the side of somebody's face are usually at eye level. So the fact that it's above, you're like, what am I looking at? Because it's different. And then because it's somebody like propping something up, I want to know, oh, well, what are they going to do next? So I think I watched the whole thing and then I roll away. It's kind of a callback to Tay's story from last episode when he did that snuff on Omegle and he was just like, yeah, that guy didn't know if my friend was dead or alive, but he just rolled away because that's just how you do on the internet. It's that vibe.
What about you, TayDZ?
Yeah, I guess I'd watch it. I've been watching fail videos since the dawn of the internet, I guess. So, or since I've been using the internet. So,
hold on.
Same.
Let me just clear reputation really quick. Dawn of the internet, I want you guys to know Tay is not that old. We know that the internet started in like the 60s or 70s. It was the ARPANET. Tay is not of ARPA era. He is of actual internet era.
Millennial. We have a real live millennial on the show.
B'Myte.
Hold on, let me just put B'Myte right there, because you're not going to talk about Tay like he's a bird, okay? He's not a modern dinosaur.
B'Myte, I am not some fossil. I'm not some near extinct animal. Talking about we found a real life millennial, guys. Ooh, hey guys, freaking the last survivor of the Civil War is here, guys. Ooh, go home, B'Myte.
Hey, just to make you feel, not just to make you feel better, but I hope this makes you feel better. I, on a deep level, relate to you more than these Gen Zers. Because
B'Myte, you are like
I relate more to millennials than the Gen Zers because I'm not of the Tide Pod eating. What other challenge was there? Crap.
Cinnamon challenge?
No, that's millennials.
That was
yeah, I know.
That was you.
It's not like the Tide Pod challenge. B'Myte, I need you to understand something real quick, okay? Millennials and Gen Z are right next to each other, B'Myte. Where there, it's not like Gen Z and then baby boomers. We're all right next to each other. We experience the same the same issues y'all experience. I'm what they call a zillennial. You know, I have experiences that are both late stage millennial and early stage Gen Z. I was 21 in 2016 when, you know, the greatest or craziest event in history happened, aka when Harambe got killed. You know, me personally, I really honestly think our experiences are not that different, B'Myte. They're not that different. Do you remember Cartoon Network?
Yes.
Do you remember
Cartoon Network is this, right?
Yeah. Do you remember Ed and Eddie?
Yes.
Remember the Rugrats?
Yes.
Remember the housing crisis in 07 or 08?
Yes.
Okay.
Conversation with us.
Okay. Freaking, do you remember, you know, Waka Flocka Flame?
Yes.
Then we are of the same ilk, B'Myte. Okay? Okay.
Okay. Let me just let me put this in perspective for you.
Okay.
Let me put this into perspective for you. Most Gen Zers don't know what a Radio Shack or a Blockbuster is.
Okay.
I do.
And most millennials don't know what a Piggly Wiggly is. Okay. I don't know what a Charleston Chew is. I'm sorry,
I mean, I've heard those terms. I know what a juke joint is.
Yeah, I know what a juke joint is. Unfortunately,
Same.
But that's because I'm black.
Yeah.
Yeah, but back to the freezer topic. These people are risking life and limb to do this ceiling challenge, and it's people dressing up as old people, and then a stitch of someone acting like a care worker, and then it's all jokes, and then you get the freaks who actually succeed, and then who actually succeed in taping their phones to the ceiling without falling off the chair or whatever they're standing on, and actually succeeding and actually doing the twerking. And then there's the videos of the ones who have boyfriends or significant others who just come in and stop the whole thing, shut the whole thing down. So, yeah, that's the ceiling challenge.
Honestly, I feel like I don't get the point. Like, is the point to make people laugh? Is it to shock? Is it just to like
clout? It's for clout.
Pretty much.
Just for clout. There's no.
Do we know
for personal
who started it?
No, I've been trying to find the original video, but I can't find it.
I feel like most memes are just government psyops. The Chinese government started the ceiling challenge.
And everybody was like, okay, cool, let's do it.
That was a nice freezer, B'Myte.
Thanks, B'Myte. And we'll be
And
back. 5. Oh.
And that was B'Myte's freezer. Y'all chilly? Huh?
You're not gonna. So.
Oh.
If you don't like it,
no. No, I liked it. I
know it's a little looking. It looks like you don't blink. Like the picture of you looks like you don't blink ever.
Wait, I didn't save it, and it's not in the. Is it in the Google Drive? Did you put it in the? You didn't put it in the Drive.
I don't remember. You know what? Maybe let's just look for it, and we can come back and play it. Cause
yeah. All right.
We don't want to waste time.
We'll be back after a quick break. And we're back.
You're listening to Poetry Slam with Bellz.
Your boy Napoleon B'Myte.
And TayDZ to the shizzle, y'all. Oh.
Speaking of which, told y'all.
Oh, you told us about Snoop smoking. Yeah, you didn't buy it for a second. You were like, "There's no way."
It had to be a prank or something. I didn't buy it for a second that Snoop gave up smoking. So y'all gullible. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say.
I mean, I believe them.
Okay, so for the rest of the show, we are going to talk about how Gen Z missed the club era. We're going to answer the question, can you create in survival mode? And we're going to talk about what some of our followers had to say about that. We're also going to discuss the topic of fictophilia, and we're going to do poetry news followed by our slam. So stick around for what our slam topic is going to be. Okay.
Come on, Kay. Come on with the topics.
Okay. So I know there are only 2 Gen Zers in the room.
One Gen Zer.
Who? What are you looking for?
My recognition.
So basically, okay, so there were some Gen Z or Zoomers. I don't like that term, Zoomers. People make fun of boomers, and it's like, why even be that close? But basically, people are discussing whether or not clubbing is in its flop era. Like, I remember when I was growing up, I didn't really watch Jersey Shore, but there would be like some odd nights when I would flick on MTV and it would be marathoning. So I have seen some episodes, but like those were people at the time who were in their early to mid 20s and they were like out partying with their friends. Same thing with like those shows like The Real World or like just in movies and stuff, you know. I kind of think I had the idea that by the time I got to this age, my life would be more exciting. Like I would be able to go out to places. And at first I thought, oh, it's not like that now because of where I live. Like Baltimore used to have a pretty active, you know, club scene. At least my parents, like growing up in the 90s, like they would go out every weekend. They were just places to go. But nowadays, especially in our town, it just seems like, you know, clubs are dead. The ones that are open, like unless you're into, like you have to find a club that's right for your vibe too. Like you can't just go to any club, you know. So it's like if your pick isn't there, there's nothing for you. And I kind of thought it was just me and where I live, but there are lots of people who are in Gen Z who are feeling like clubbing is in its flop era. So what do you think about that?
I personally agree that clubbing is in its flop era because, excuse me, because for one, it's there's no clubs in Baltimore. Like even in Towson, there's some bars but you wouldn't consider them clubs. Like
right, a bar and a club isn't the same. Like it could be a bar club.
Yeah,
but
like there's rec room, there's backyard, there's the reservoir, but none of them give off the club vibe you saw in the movies or TV.
But think about the songs that we used to hear during our high school and middle school dances. Like Tay. Like think of some songs of like when they were talking about getting crunk in the club. Like that's pretty much all we heard. So now that we're old enough to do that, like
it is
Let me put on my scarf real quick. My old bones can't handle all this coldness right now. Yeah, whippersnappers. Back in my day, we used to play in the club. Oh man, boy howdy! I remember back in my day, we played that ancient song from the 20th century, "Party Rock" by LMFAO. Truly, one of the old time songs. We did Gangnam Style back in my day.
Hey, that was in my day too.
it was in my day, but I was really, too young.
That was
I wasn't listening. I wasn't understanding.
that was like Kay said. That was in like high school dances. Like they would play that in at like.
Oh my gosh! Like DJ Khaled's "Throw Your Hands Up" and let them stay there and let them stay there. Like that was middle school dance for us. But like the people who are already grown up, like that was the club hit.
Exactly.
That's funny.
But like I feel it's easy. Oh.
I'm just going to answer your question straight up. If it seems like clubs nowadays aren't as prevalent, it's probably because of multiple things. First off, ain't nobody got the time or the money. They working or they sleeping. Then
hoping they get paid.
Yeah, like they working and they sleeping. Second, people probably aren't keen on being out at night as much nowadays, seeing as how your average club can probably be a nice target for a man with a AK-47 in hand. So sometimes it's about being safe. I take the unnecessary risk. There's also the fact that, and let's be real, late stage millennials and like early Gen Zers, the ones who probably are going to clubs, they're probably not that interested in clubs. There's more things to do now. I mean, I have a friend who's a little younger and she likes to go to clubs and stuff. She's like 23, but like at the same time, she always she expresses like, "Oh, I hate clubs. Actually, I'm tired of going to the club." Oh, and I'm like, "Why are you tired of it?" And she's just like, "It's the same thing over and over again. You go to the club, you sit there for a few hours, you get hit on by some guy who won't take no for an answer. I could just be at home or go to something more different, like a rooftop bar. So it sounds like some people just are bored of the club scene. Not like the ravers or whatever. Ravers, they'll rave for literally anything. But like that's what I'm saying. Like for people like that, they go to special clubs or like concerts.
They go to festivals.
That's music festivals. Yeah. Like that atmosphere is just kind of like, I guess they don't find it in the club anymore. You find that elsewhere.
I think another factor of the downfall of clubs is COVID.
That too.
I remember before COVID, I would look for things to do. Like I would try to go out. Granted, I was still a little too young, but I felt like there wasn't really like a scene for me. And I feel like COVID and the pandemic just made it worse. Like I think with Gen Z, the way we socialize is a little different because we grew up on the internet. We're in this era of we've made online friends. And I think for some, those social skills don't really translate to offline. So when you get into a space where you're around a bunch of people, like there's a technique for how you have to socialize. First, you have to feel comfortable with first being that close to so many other people. You have to like understand the etiquette of just having friends of the moment, and I feel we live in a culture where when people our age group feels socially uncomfortable, instead of trying to branch out, we just pull out our phone and like, you know, go into a different space instead of embracing the moment. Like, a part of embracing being at a party or at a club where there are a bunch of other strangers is you have to be a part of it. You have to really embrace all the different types of people who are there, the different songs you may hear. Like, that's what makes the scene the scene.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, let me ask y'all, you know, since y'all the whippersnappers here apparently. You know,
Look, be like that. I defended you. So
thanks. I mean, let me ask you both. Were y'all ever, Kay, it sounds like you were curious about it, but were y'all ever that deep in the club scene? I mean, did you want to be that deep in it?
yeah.
Yes and no. When I was younger, I didn't think I would be a drinker, but you know, times get tough, and
You want a hug, B'Myte? Jesus Christ.
yeah,
Jesus.
Y'all remember me in college? I was
Yeah, you was. You down the whole ball of Mad Dog. We know, B'Myte.
oh my, I don't think I can show that on here, but I mean I could, but
Look, I'm keeping some things to my chest. I won't say everything about you. But I mean, like, take out the bar scene. Like, I'm sure y'all been to bars on the weekend where they were hyped up and people jumping around and dancing. That's probably as close to the club scene that a lot of younger people probably do nowadays is the bar. The bar may as well be the new scene. And even then, it feels like it's easier to just grab some, I mean, if you're a drinker, grab some drinks, or if you're a smoker, grab a bowl and just do it at home.
yeah.
Lame. That's a part of what's wrong. Like, we're in such a do it at home era. Like, instead of going out to the movies, you know, it's like, oh, let's just watch the movie at home, Netflix and chill. Oh, instead of like going out to a nice restaurant, let's just order in. Like, I feel COVID has helped catalyze this, but it was already a transition of keeping people in the house.
Mhm.
You know, you can do so many more things at home that there are just less options of having events outside of the home. And I think that's what has like impacted like a young adult generation, because economically things have shifted to TV, internet. You can just do so many things in your own space. It eliminated the need for people to go out, so there are less businesses that cater to that. Club, you gotta go out. That's like an out thing.
Yeah, and like Kay said, like apart from COVID, Gen Z is more of a socially awkward, always on the phone, huh?
Yeah, I don't touch grass a lot.
You know,
We already know B'Myte touch grass from his Omegle, his absence of Omegle.
Yeah, but I was either touching actual grass or virtual grass. Anyway,
okay, yeah, I get it.
Anyway, yeah. So we don't really, and I'm saying we because I feel like I'm a part of this as well. We don't really do much outside of being on our phones. That's why the dating scene has gone so virtual, and catfishing is a thing more prevalent now.
But I also feel like it's not necessarily that Gen Z just hates going outside or younger millennials just hate going outside. I think it's a matter of the things that entertained generations beforehand don't entertain younger generations now. I feel like instead of the club,
but the thing
we'll
is,
save money.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But the thing is, it's not like the generation doesn't have the desire to go out. The desire is still there. And that's a part of what this article is about. And yeah.
I'm so sorry. I think younger people are looking for different experiences. You know, I think instead of going to the club every weekend, why not save your money and go to that cool music festival? You know? Instead of going to the club every weekend, why not save your money and then go on that cool trip to South America you always wanted to go to?
Those are big ticket items. The thing about the club is you could do that in a weekend, just like going to the movies every weekend. I mean, the difference between a bar and a nightclub, I just want to draw up this difference really quick. Bars are about getting patrons through the door through drinks and food, and nightclubs are to emphasize experiences and entertainment. So you would go to the club if you want to listen to music, dance all night, enjoy a show. But you really go to a bar to more. I mean, meeting somebody at a bar is not ideal, but you go there to more socialize. You can play a game there, like billiards or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But so, I guess it just sounds like people want to do new things in just the club. I
think people can just be organized. It doesn't have to be eliminated.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm sure. And maybe for instance, with my friend, maybe she would rather go to the club every once in a while. She sounds bored of it. Maybe instead of like she said, she'd rather go to a rooftop bar. That's something new.
Yeah.
That's just what happens when you do the same thing every weekend. I used to go to parties every weekend. I used to go to house parties every weekend. I'm just it was fun, but it was also I want to do something different.
Wait.
There goes.
Wait.
So we have B'Myte's party phase and Bellz's party phase. I wonder which party phase.
I don't want to be into that, but once again, I just feel calmer about it because I'm older. I feel like when you're younger, closer to the age of 21, you're just really very much let me get out there. I'm so excited. But when you get even just a couple years older, you're just okay, I know I have a better idea of what I'm into, what's worth my time, what it takes to go out.
Mm-hmm.
When you drive a car, you get an Uber. Those are resources. How much money it's going to cost. Who you go with. What you need to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait, hold up. Let's back up a second. Bellz, you been to house parties?
Something like that. I mean, we don't have to get into.
Wait, no. We're not just gonna skirt past that little gym there, it's a stop sign. We gonna stop at that stop sign real quick. We're not going to do no California roll around here with that.
I don't think that's what you said it was.
Yeah, it's a gym because I've known you for about 2.5 years. You don't seem like a partier.
I think at the time you met me, I was dormant. And I think now I'm dormant. However, I like to have a good time.
Okay.
B'Myte. Sounds like you and Bellz need to go to a house party. Or go to the club.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Yeah. Because I want to see Bellz in the club scene, in the house party scene.
I will
in
be
her-
so fun. Okay, I'll tell you the first time I went to the club. First of all, it's not even open anymore. Like a lot of the clubs in Baltimore have closed even like as recently as last year. But okay, I went to this club called the Grand Central. I didn't know at the time that it was a gay club, but it didn't even matter because there was hardly anybody in there. And I was not even really old enough to be in there. I mean, I was, but like I wasn't old enough to drink yet, I don't think.
Which means you wasn't old enough to be in there.
Exactly.
I wasn't in there? Oh, yeah.
No.
Maybe, I don't really remember.
If
Like,
you
I was
had to
like,
pull out, never mind.
oh wait,
Wait,
no,
if-
I'm
if-
not old enough to be in there because my friend and I snuck in. That's what happened. Like,
There we go. There we go. There we
So,
go.
if you had if you had to pull out that
we didn't even do. We were ready.
that
Look,
that schmake
I never had one of those. I didn't spend $75 on that. I kind of wish I did just to have the relic.
Oh wait, hold up. You know how much it was?
Yeah, my friends was talking about that. Like, it would be a debate. Like, oh, should we get that? I never got one, but I kind of wish I did just so that I could have it like as a memento. Like, this was back when I was pressed, but like I kept that obviously. But yeah, so we snuck in.
Mm-hmm.
This is so not exciting. I'm sorry. It just isn't. Like, it was only fun because I was with my best friend at the time. It was one of those moments. But like we snuck in because the person who was checking information and like taking money was talking to somebody, and I was like, "Let's go!" So we walked past.
Oh, so you were the bad influence. Oh,
there we go.
Oh,
you guys know
okay.
Yeah, I was just like, we're not gonna not go in. So we went in. We went in, and the music was cool. It was fun. They were playing like I think house music. Like early 2000s, just it was club music, so it was okay. We listened to it and danced, but it was not full. And I only found out it was a gay club after the fact because I looked it up. Like it was called the Grand Central, and it was like a historic club, but it was dead. But we had fun just dancing, I guess.
Hot take.
But
Bellz is a bad influence.
how? I'm not. No, because I stole a club entry.
Yes.
Well, see, here's the thing. Even if you had
Okay,
the full ID, I'm sure they would have let you in for free anyway. You know.
No, they wouldn't have. That was not happening. Like,
because you know they let.
Young, like,
Wait, you said
and
what?
we tried to go to other places. It was not happening.
They weren't trying to let you in for free?
I mean, as empty as it was, nobody wants to lose their liquor license to that. Like, of course they're not going to let us in when there are plenty of people of age who are going to pay and, like, be allowed to be in there.
That's true. That's true. Okay, yeah. I thought, you know, the pretty tax, you know, like B'Myte.
Yeah, yeah. Huh? Wait, the pretty
discount. There you go. The pretty discount. The pretty discount.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
You know,
Wait, hold up. Pretty tax. Wait. You said you were saying I get a pretty tax? Oh,
no. You don't get a pretty. No. It's the pretty discount.
I thought that's what you were saying. You know?
It's the pretty discount and it's the ugly tax. Two similar.
Second story, when I tried to go to the club, this was later, and I was of age. I'm pretty sure I was, and it was beat. Like the only excitement going on was that somebody was having a birthday party, and I feel like that's how clubs are nowadays. Like if you like reserve a table, like to have a party with your friends, then it works. Like the club vibes that I've experienced nowadays is kind of like the bar. Like you have to go with a friend or your friends to have a good time. Like you can't really go there and just vibe in the scene. Like you kind of have to bring your own scene to the club.
Yeah, why would you go to the club by yourself anyway? That sounds kind of wild.
You used to be able to do that. Like if you just go to the club all night. I mean,
that don't sound fun.
No, it don't.
Unless you busy. It's like 1974. You're like in Studio 54, and you just took a whole bottle of ecstasy, whatever the heck they were taking back then. Snorted a whole line of just, it was like the cleanest cocaine.
Mm-hmm. Wait. Hold up. Did we just miss another hot take? Did Kay just admit to doing all that? Hold up. What?
No.
Wait.
No.
Wait.
I don't do drugs. No.
You might trying to get her convicted. That's crazy. You might trying to get her. You
know what? We've gone too long without saying a poem. So yeah, I definitely agree. Gen Z missed the club era, but you know what? We're still alive. We can make the scene we want to be in.
Yeah,
that's facts. That's facts.
Yeah,
that's facts.
All facts, no printer.
Okay, so I'm gonna move on to the next topic because I have a poem that goes with it. B'Myte, do you have a poem that either goes with what we just talked about, or do you want to bring up a topic to introduce something new?
Go ahead and do your topic. Your second topic. Go ahead.
So on the Poetry Slam Instagram, follow us at Poetry Slam on Instagram. We asked our followers, can you create in survival mode? And at first, our poll was tied, then we did it again, and the majority said disagree. So let me just double check the post really quick.
Hold up. The post was
okay.
I'll do the topic for the post real quick. You can't create in survival mode. Agree or disagree? So,
can y'all explain what survival mode is for our people?
So, survival mode is just when you're not particularly thinking in a creative mindset. You're just working. Just working. At least that's what it means to me. So I'm mixed on that, because on one hand I think you can, but on another I think you can't, because when you're just working to work and not having that really time or the energy, because you're working so much, to sit down and create, or sit down, relax and create, it's like your mind is clouded. So you're just working to survive, working to make money, working so you can have enough money to eventually just sit down and create. That's why I agreed. But then when I think about it, it's like like I said, it's a two-edged sword. I feel like if you do actually sit down and create, you can just be you're not in survival mode. You're in a comfortable place where you can just be. And that's why I disagreed.
Okay, Bellz. What poem have you crafted?
That's why I agreed. My bad. Okay, Bellz.
So to create in survival mode, I disagree with that. For me, survival mode is when you can only focus on your basic needs. I have to go to work, I need to eat, like everything you do is directed toward what you need. And when you're out of survival mode, that means you can think of fulfilling your wants. Like, oh, I want to go for a walk, or I want to call my friend and talk about this thing. So I disagree. That me, I can't create survival mode. I feel like when I'm in a mode of strictly needing to problem solve, yes, I do feel stuck. However, I continue through that process by finding temporary moments of relief. And like that relief is often like being creative. It's like talking about or imagining like what my experience is, or even like escaping from it. Like I feel like if you're not, I mean, you don't have to be in survival mode all the time, but for me, like poetry and art is escapism. So if you're in survival mode, that makes your escape that much more vivid. And I think that hardship can really be a very strong inspiration for where your mind goes and what you can create. And I think I've written like poems, stories, like out of those moments, and during those moments.
Most of my poems that happen in those moments are sad and depressing. That's what I've realized. And I don't like to personally create sad and depressing poems. So I've unfortunately for the moment have toned down my creative moments. I haven't had a poetic moment in so long I can't even remember. And it's just like, why? And I think, oh, huh, I'm in survival mode.
Mm.
Yeah, so I want to touch on that topic of, the negative feelings, creating negative poems. Lately, I've been holding the opinion that I want to witness more positive poems, because I feel a lot of poets do that. Like when you're going through a negative experience, because poetry is your outlet, you talk about that negative experience. However, I would like to see more like comedic poems or more poems about positivity. And then for myself, I want to write more of that stuff, because I feel, um, especially like Black people criticizing Black art, especially with films, like we've had, well, I'm speaking of we, like on Twitter or X, talking about, oh, we don't want any more Black trauma films. We don't want any more, TV shows based on like the negative aspects of some Black people's lives who live in bad neighborhoods or are involved in drugs and things like that. But then when I look at Black poets, we're talking about trauma stories. So it's like, I definitely want to be exposed to more Black artists who are telling positive stories. And I want to be one of those artists too.
And that's why I'm in a space where I haven't created in a while, because for me to be a Black poet, I don't want any more black black sad poetry out there, or even trauma, quote unquote trauma poetry. So
Wow. I didn't know you felt that way, B'Myte. You know what? I want to get two poems off quick so we can get to Tay's poetry news, because we're coming down to the last few minutes of our show. And, we're going to have to do better with the time next time, guys, because we didn't even get to all of our topics. But let me get these poems off. And Tay, you can't have the rest of the time. Okay. This poem is a little explicit. It's called Busted. And I guess it was inspired by me being in survival mode because I was having a hard time with somebody at work. And I felt like I finally got him back. So you might be calling me a princess after this one. And if you don't know what that means, stick around for a poem about it from me. This is called. I don't even know if I can read this like online. I'm just gonna pretend you guys aren't there. Am I ready? Okay, I hear my music. I'm gonna read two poems. First, I'm gonna read "Busted," and then I'm gonna read "Last Ride with Rhodey." Okay. Oh wait, I have three. Why are you breathing? Why are you breathing?
I'm gonna put us in the background now, so you can focus.
Okay, I'm gonna read three poems because you know what? B'Myte has all this breath.
That was TayDZ.
Really, Tay?
Laughing.
All right. Now I feel funny. Okay, well, this poem is called Poem of Positivity. Being blickety includes we are not shy about sharing our misery. I would like to speak about positivity and show there is light within this dark. I am young, however, I've been black for a lifetime, and I shine from fulfillment, not lack of approval. Bellz. That may have been better off as a threads post. This poem is called Busted. It was inspired by one of my coworkers giving me a hard time, and I finally got him. Busted. I busted his nuts wide open. Don't you get it? I live for this. He tried to fist bump me. I punched his knuckles. They cracked like I wished. Bellz.
Wait. Wait, hold up.
I have one more poem.
But okay, we'll come back to the last poem after this poem.
Okay, this poem was inspired by me being in survival mode. Just yesterday, my dog passed away. She was my best friend for more than half my life. And it was very difficult driving her to the hospital, like during her last moments. So in remembering that and how it made me feel, it inspired this poem. This is a work in progress, so I'll only read one stanza of it. Last ride with Rhodey. My last ride with Rhodey ended with her looking like a teddy bear with the stuffing out. She toughed it out with me, thugged it out for me, soldiered through her dying breath. I hollered and screamed out in pain, sadness rising in every breath. As my best friend lay breathless, I sat her in the front seat. She jumped in the back. She was down for the ride. She just had to lay down during this one. I miss her waiting at the door, always wanting to go somewhere. I miss her looking eyes full of words she could never say, only show with the touch of her nose and an outstretched paw or licking her fur. My best friend is gone. As I reached a lifetime, hers was done. 16 years, 2 months, 20 days, my dear Tokyo barked her last bark, ran her last run, did her last jump, and enjoyed her last dinner. Bellz.
Okay, Bellz. Okay, Bellz.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna revise Last Ride with Rhodey. but like that's the beginnings of it.
I mean, that was nice.
Okay.
That's really beautiful.
Back to busted, because I'm gonna get back to the last round with Rody. I'm gonna get right back to that. But busted, but
Yeah, I got him.
You busted his what?
busted. Okay, what was that? What was that line?
I busted his masculinity. I busted his manhood.
That's
I took his humanism away from him.
that's not what that means.
It isn't?
No,
What does it mean?
no. I'm not. I'm not gonna explain it on camera, but that's not what that means.
It isn't?
No.
Oh my gosh, now I'm confused. I'm nervous. I'm not. What does it mean? Like, now I'm really confused. What? Type it out. Type it out.
Look, I'm not gonna hold you. Sorry to any sensitive viewers out there. I thought you said in the beginning that you busted his nuts. So
I hope you have different interpretations, but I'm really nervous.
I mean, I hope you didn't. That'd be kind of crazy. Busting his manhood sound kind of crazy too. Not gonna hold you.
Oh my gosh! Let me just read the other lines for context, because I feel like y'all got hooked on that one.
No. We heard every line, but
when you start a poem with that, it's kind of wild.
Okay, looking at the other lines, I don't want to read them because I feel like I'm emphasizing what you thought. Like, don't you get it? I live for this. He tried to fist bump me. I punched his knuckles. They cracked like I wish.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It adds good context.
It does add context, but
that beginning was draws you in.
Yeah.
I thought it was like,
No.
like I got him, like
No.
You know,
No.
it was like, he's in my trap or something like that.
Oh, he'll be in your trap after you do that.
Yeah, he ain't only move after that. He can't move after that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's a little awkward. Like,
yeah.
So I mean, I'm glad the following line has context, but that's not.
Hey, don't change the first line. You know, it pulls you in. It makes you go, what? Especially how you perform.
Okay, when I watch this back, I wish you guys were below my screen seeing your reactions. Now we want to know how you reacted.
Well, but between TayDZ's breathing and me wanting to me needing water and my water bottle crushing, and it would have ruined it.
You know what? All right.
Oh, okay. That's wild. Oh well, you know. No, I was just saying I got him good. I got my revenge on him. Like
yeah, that's one way to take revenge.
I mean, that's the main way. And like I said, the context helps. It's just that beginning really makes you want to spit up whatever you're drinking. It's kind of wild.
Oh wait, so like that phrase does mean what I thought it meant. It's just you took it differently. Like as soon as you heard it, that was your thought. But what I thought it it's that too. Like it has two meanings.
What's the first line again?
Yeah, Kate, say the first line again.
I busted his nuts. It's like saying, "Oh, I'm just busting." I'm saying that.
Mm.
I mean, yes, you're right.
If you would have said it that way,
Then I would have been like, "Oh, okay."
right?
I immediately know. But for that millisecond, I was like, "What the?"
What kind of poem is this?
Yeah. So, but it was still a good poem. The emotion you performed with really helped put it over the top.
Yeah.
I might have to delete this whole video.
No.
No.
I might have to cut this up the video.
Make this a reel. What you mean?
Exactly. Make this a real okay.
Yeah. I know about that. Okay, well, those are my poems. Tay. Oh, we said about my last 30 poem before TayDZ.
I kind of had a similar experience as that, but it was just like I thought it was one thing, but it ended up being another. So I thought we were just dropping them off so they could get help.
Mm-hmm.
But it ended up with because it was during COVID and we weren't allowed to go in to the not to the vet, to the shelter.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought we were dropping them off so they could get the help they needed because we couldn't provide that help because of medical bills. The medical bills would have been too much. The vet bills would have been too much. So I thought it was one thing, but it ended up being them being put down. So yeah, that's my relation to Last Ride with Rhodey.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing you didn't go in because
yeah,
it's not.
Yeah. All right. Now on to a more positive note. It's time for Poetry News with
TayDZ. How y'all doing? It's time for the Tay to the D to the Z. Hey, y'all doing okay?
Yeah.
Y'all doing fine?
Yeah,
it's a wonderful day in the neighborhood, y'all. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. Yes. It is I, TayDZ, with some poetry news for y'all. And today, I want to tell y'all about. Oh, that's so cool! You'll see that. That's so cool.
Oh wow, that is cool.
Oh, I love this. Yes, folks. Or SpongeBob. This is the topic of today's poetry news. Well, at least
who is that?
This is Lenny Kravitz.
Oh, okay.
Do you know who Lenny Kravitz is? Doesn't he look so cool?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
All right. Let me go ahead and fully put him on here now. Yes, folks. Topic of the day is Mr. Kravitz, of course, the all too famous rock star of the 90s and early 2000s. Lenny Kravitz. He had an interview recently, and in his interview, he says that he feels like he had to face a lot of adversity from both the regular media and black media. Now, he's been saying that he says it's because, he's a black guy in the realm of rock, and rock is not always so kind to black people. And so he felt like he had to fight to kind of be known as not just the black guy who does rock and roll, but as a guy who is on par with the best rock stars of all time. But not only that, he felt like the black media didn't fully support him. He says it took him 10 years to even be put on like the Vibes list of most influential black people. He says he noted how long it took 10 years to get on Vibes Who's Who list, and he's never been celebrated by BET or Source. So Lenny Kravitz says, to this day, I've not been invited to a BET thing or a Source Awards thing. And it's like, here's a black artist who has reintroduced many black art forms, who has broken down barriers, just like those that came before me broke down. That is positive, and they don't have anything to say about it. Lenny Kravitz doesn't do hip-hop. He doesn't do R&B. He doesn't do any of our subgenres. He does straight up rock music. So, how do y'all feel? I'll give you more about that, but how do y'all feel about that? A black guy says, black media hasn't been the kindest to me.
I feel like that's on par with black media, because and hear me out, because there's another black rock star, dang, I can't, his name is like on the tip of my tongue, but it's escaping me at the moment. Jimi Hendrix, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what black media was like back then, but nowadays it's more of pop and hip hop. There's no really, there's no real love for other genres. Like we do
There's R&B.
pop. Yeah, but those are the only three. Those are the only three we give love to. We don't give love to rock. We don't give love to alternative much. We don't. There's not really any black country stars who stick with country.
Darius Rucker.
Well, even him, he's more of in the era where we were accepting of black people in other genres. In my opinion, anyway. There was like I was saying, pop, hip hop, and R&B are the top three genres that us as black people really give love to and really focus on.
Well, rock and roll is just R&B sped up.
True. That's true.
Mama Thornton said that.
Mm-hmm.
She was one of the first black rock stars, Black women rock stars.
Mm-hmm.
Um, even when
I would. Oh, go ahead.
even when Childish Gambino did his experimental album, there was no um. It was like it didn't get much play. There was only a few songs that people really liked, and it was only like I said, it didn't really get much play, and you don't really hear about it now because it's not really a hip hop or pop or R&B album. And he did two albums like that, and I enjoyed both of them really. But
Yeah, I feel like that's an example of music genres being segregated. I think for a long time, like rock and roll, although it started with African Americans, it was like we were sort of pushed out of it, especially when Elvis Presley became more famous and he was a mainstream
Mm-hmm.
artist and he became the face of rock and roll, especially in the 50s and 60s, because during that era of segregation, like although Black people, we had our own clubs and things, we were very much underground and like I think it was like music that allowed us to like sort of bridge into white clubs, and then when there was finally a white person like singing and performing rock and roll, it made it like acceptable for white people, and then once that happened we weren't really a part of the mainstream form of it like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel it's still marketed very much to white people, like, and I'm just saying specifically white people because I can't even think of like a Carlos Santana. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but like, I think there are segregated music genres like the blues, R&B, like all the ones that we've talked about. I just think it's sort of like redlining. Like black artists are still sectioned off, and I think it's just sort of a coded way of thinking. You know, black radio stations still have to make money. Like R&B is still our most popular genre, so I think also now it's a factor of it may be not economical to try to like chance, you know, an experimental or like less popular black genre because you don't want to lose out. But it doesn't mean that black people like don't work in these genres or aren't good at making this music or aren't present in it. I think it's just the result of how the world was and that we just haven't shifted away from it or like heightened our awareness enough to be proactive about changing.
Chuck Berry was the first rock and roll artist.
Mm-hmm. Among them, yeah.
And then Elvis came and pretty much he did the hip swivel, he had the look, and he became the king of rock and roll. When really, if we want to be completely honest, Chuck Berry should be the king of rock and roll.
Or Fats Domino.
Whitney Houston. Oh no. Tina Turner. She was a rock star.
Well, she's considered the queen of rock and roll, so
right.
You know,
so
they get
we got one, but
yeah.
Michael Jackson was a rock star, but they call him the king of pop. I mean, he did like push.
Michael Jackson did a lot of genres, honestly. Yeah, like I think King of Pop fits him perfectly because pop is an ever-encompassing genre. That
super genre.
I think with him, he like pioneered pop though because his sound was so popular, and just what you said, he had so many different sounds.
Yeah,
he I said he. He's he's like Michael was a person, from what I can from what the little bit I've studied, Michael's whole thing was that he just didn't want to do the same thing twice.
Yeah.
You know, he like if he made it like, for instance, you could describe all his albums as like different genres or subgenres because Off the Wall was like disco funk.
Right.
Thriller is like R&B, like 80s R&B. Bad is like 80s pop / rock. Dangerous is New Jack Swing. History is kind of like mid 90s kind of whatever the heck he was trying to do.
Well, in history, it's not just new music, but it's
older music too.
Right? Yeah. He put on he put Smooth Criminal, Bad. He put a bunch of he that was more of a compilation album.
It's
a album.
It's a two-parter.
Right.
It's the compilation part, and then it's like the newer music that either he had just made, or he was like holding on to for a minute.
Yeah.
And then of course, and then you get his like, what was the album he put out? Freaking the one he put out, Invincible. That's like early 2000s soul, like neo soul, like flow achieve. He had like different producers for each of his albums, giving him different sounds, and even within those albums, there's different subgenres. Like he did a lot. And I think to go back to like Lenny Kravitz, I think it's like we don't. Part of him is right. We don't give a lot of respect to like our non, we don't give a lot of respect to like our non hip hop R&B stars. We don't. And a part of that is. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Tay. I was just gonna say, like with the BET Awards, I don't even think they have like a rock award. They're really just hip hop and R&B. They're exclusive to that.
Mm-hmm. And I saw someone say, Eminem's been invited to BET Awards because he was within the genre.
Yeah.
Like
that's
and
another point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like white people can cross those genre boundaries, but Black people can't really do the same thing as easily. I mean, yeah, it's like a cultural thing for us, I guess, but it's like the thing that's happening with country music, like you could be like a Black country music star, but it's like you have to fight to be categorized as country, even though you're making country songs.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
With it's even hard for white artists to really merge into the hip hop R&B genre because they're seen as cultural vultures. They don't respect the genre. They don't respect the history of it. When in all honesty.
Because I agree with you, but I also don't. I agree with you to an extent.
No, I'm not the one that's saying it. I'm just saying that's why.
But no. I agree that is a thing, but I also believe it is easier for a white person to come into hip hop and R&B than it is for a Black person to go into the other genres, and partially that is because of Black people. So think of as many white R&B artists as you can think of: Tina Marie, Hall and Oates, Justin Timberlake, Bieber, even Eminem.
Whoa. 4 minute.
Mm-hmm. Mac Miller.
Whoa.
JoJo.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Timberlake was more like he was a boy band person first.
And when he
he was solo, Robin Thicke.
But Sam a lot of people before he did a music video thought he was Black. So
what's that man's name?
Because he was singing R&B.
Yeah, he's singing like what's that man's name?
R&B artist. Like a part of it is marketing and commercialization.
Yeah, he had a lot of soul.
What's that man's name? The man, he just passed away recently.
You're trained to know what soul is supposed to sound like. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, you know it instinctively, but it's like we're playing music, I guess, that sounds soulful, or like we're told that it sounds soulful. And you can think it on your own, but I just feel like there's a part of marketing that tells us to associate soulfulness with like this particular sound, and because we connect it to like a black person, we instantly think the person who's singing is black, but that's not always the case.
So to kind of like give my final point on it, Bobby Caldwell, by the way, was the name of the guy who did What You Won't Do for Love. And when his video first came out, like his song came out before the video, people thought he was black. And then in the beginning of the video, he's like shrouded in darkness. And then he comes out of the shadows and we reveal he's white. And people were like, what the? But I think it's almost like we black people, or a lot of black people, we see it as almost like a novelty, kind of like oh my gosh. Like when a white person does the genres that we're known for, because it's like, oh, white boy has soul. That's nice. And we're more eager to take them in. You know, we're more eager to let them come to the cookout because, you know, that's cool to us. Like they're trying to do the things that we do, and we can tell what's genuine and what's not. Like we knew Miley Cyrus wasn't genuine when she was in her bangers era. We knew she wasn't genuine about that. You remember Miley Cyrus and her bangers era?
I thought her bangers era, she was making pop music. And I also feel like culturally black people are like that. We're like that because we want to be accepted. Like regardless, we're still not the dominant population in society. So it's like, oh, you're trying to get with us? Great, because we're always fighting to get with them.
And so, but also we're so weird about black people branching out and doing different things. And that's why I feel like Lenny Kravitz. I feel like that's part of why Lenny Kravitz just doesn't get as much credit as he does within the black community, because we're so funky about, like, you know, oh, you doing that white people stuff, aren't you? You know, like how many people have heard that before in their life? You know. Like,
I've been called an Oreo.
Yeah.
I've been told that I talk white, and I feel like that's a thing within our community where we just reinforce the rules that white people have put upon us within our own community. I think it's a subconscious thing. Like we don't even realize we're doing it because it's like we're taught to try to fit in with that social standard, and in that we put each other down instead of embracing our culture for what it is.
So yeah, you know, and as a small little additional thing, I saw some people say that part of it is Lenny Kravitz's fault because his agent, white guy, was telling him to not interact with black media all that much. So take that for what you will. So, you know, that's that piece of news. Real quick, you know, Henry Kissinger is dead. The internet is celebrating, and it's kind of crazy.
Henry, hold up. Henry Kissinger.
Henry Kissinger is the former Secretary of State of the United States of America from the 70s and like the late 60s. Everything that if you think that America gets involved in too many things and costs a lot, you know, especially other countries' political movements, and ruins those countries. Yeah, Henry Kissinger was probably the father and or at least the granddaddy of that, depending on who you are. He helped destabilize Vietnam. He helped destabilize Laos, Cambodia, Chile, a bunch of African countries. You know, Pakistan and Bangladesh, you know. So basically, when he's known as a really awful person because he basically was just like, well, body's a body. So there's actually a subreddit called "Is Henry Kissinger Dead Yet?" And when
wait 1 second, a body's a body sounds
crazy, right?
Yeah, it's worse in more ways than one.
I'm not gonna let you laugh for 20 minutes on this one, B'Myte. Not this time. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I just want to get to that real quick because the internet is celebrating. The subreddit is Henry Kissinger. Is Henry Kissinger dead yet? They celebrated. They're having like a party. Freaking people from Cambodia and Vietnam and Laos and Bangladesh and Chile. Oh, they're having parties about this man. But here's the crazy part. He lived to be 100. So, the worst person got to live a full life, bro. Crazy.
How is he allowed to have that much power like that?
Because it's all in the name of saving America, keeping America safe, quote unquote. All in the name of fighting communism, quote unquote. American government will do anything. Like America has gotten involved in other countries' politics for like ever, and all Kissinger just allowed. If you do the math, Kissinger's policies have probably gotten as many people killed as the Holocaust, and that's kind of crazy. We're talking like millions of people. So yeah,
that's keeping the world a safe place for democracy.
And he was a white man in power.
And he was a white man in power. By the way, I'm pretty sure it's either him. Which, by the way, it's either him. No. I'm thinking about J. Edgar Hoover. J. Edgar Hoover was the head of the FBI. That's a whole other story. Just know.
Yeah.
Just know none of them were good people. None of them were good people.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, thanks for that update.
Yeah. So just want to go over Henry Kissinger real quick. In the words of the internet, of rest in peace. So yeah.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah. That was Poetry News. And that is Poetry Slam for y'all tonight. We are out of here. You have been listening to Poetry Slam with
Bellz,
your boy Napoleon B'Myte.
TayDZ.
Good night, everybody.